The Tube Screamer. Here's the thing, okay, hold your horses. No one needs an expensive one. No! Hot take, I know. Gonna burn me in the comment section, I know. But to me, a Tube Screamer is no magic. It's not a mystical vintage artifact. Yes, it's a very clever circuit. Yes, it's famous, but it's not rocket science. What it does and what it can is these three things. First, it has a very specific mid-range boost. It pushes the frequencies roughly about between 700 and 800 Hertz, which is exactly the frequency range where guitars need help to cut through in a full band mix. At the same time, it slightly reduces the low end like a high cut filter. That's extremely important to define grunge sounds or distorted sounds and make them sit better in the mix. The distortion then becomes tighter and more focused. And third, a classic Tube Screamer uses diodes to create something called soft clipping. That means the distortion is smooth and slightly compressed, not harsh, not aggressive, not fuzzy. And fourth, did I say 3 or 4 things? It doesn't change the voicing or the sound of your amp too much. Sure, there will be a little effect on the EQ of the amp, but the main purpose is to thicken and define the amp sound. And that is not a complicated task. That's no boutique magic. So when you hear people talking about vintage chips and the secret sauce of whatever, remember mid-push, low-end tightening, smooth clipping, while the amp sound remains. That's why I say, if one clone pedal does 95% of the same job, then why should I pay double or triple of the price for the original boutique one? You know? Long story short, we're looking for affordable Tube Screamer alternatives that still do a great job sound-wise. Let's start with the safest option. If you want the Tube Screamer name without paying the vintage price, the Ibanez Tube Screamer Mini is a absolute no-brainer. Advantages are it has the real Tube Screamer character, it comes in a compact format, and it is affordable even if it's brand new. And used, you can often find it around 40 or 50 euros, and it's always a safe bet. But we're of course not just looking for the original Tube Screamer, so let's move on. A good alternative would be the Yo-Yo Vintage Overdrive. It's one of the more popular Tube Screamer pedals. What you get is the classic 3-knob layout, a very similar EQ behavior. It is extremely affordable, but on the other hand, it colors the tone a little too much in my opinion. But if you can live with that, you might find it for 25 or 35 euros on Reverb or on eBay. Links in the description, you can find it there. Yes, the components aren't boutique, but yet again, it's a Tube Screamer. And now, another plot twist. You might not even need a Tube Screamer at all. The Boss SD1 isn't technically a Tube Screamer clone because it uses asymmetrical clipping instead of symmetrical clipping. And it has a slightly different character sound-wise, but in practice fills exactly the same role. It reduces low end, pushes mids, and thickens your tone. It shapes a little the tone, but in my opinion, in a good way. You might find it on Reverb or eBay for 60 up to 75 euros, and it has decades of proven reliability. So these three are my alternatives you can get for a good Tube Screamer alternative. There's a lot more, so I prepared a list for you down in the description. You're welcome. And while you're already down there, tell me what's your favorite Tube Screamer alternative. So let's sum that up a little. What really matters if you want or need a pedal that functions as a Tube Screamer. Does it reduce low end? Does it help you push better through in the band mix? And if you get one, get an affordable one. That's all it matters to me. Sure, there will be people disagreeing with that opinion. I know. Thing is, Guitar playing has so much perspectives and inspiration, and that's a great thing. Some people play guitar to fiddle around with pedals, some just love practicing, some love experiencing with new gear, some want to try out as much as they can, and some simply want to play and learn as much as they can, and the gear is just a vehicle they use. And if you're like me, that type of a guitar player, it doesn't really matter which timbre version is inside, and it doesn't matter what says 808 or 9, Mini Boutique, custom shape, hand-wired 6.7. The Tube Screamer is a tool. It's not a religion. I'd say if you already own a Tube Screamer pedal, you probably don't need another one. And if you don't own one, don't overpay. Buy smart, buy what works. This was bang for the buck. Hope you liked the Tube Screamer episode and hope you have a great time with this video. If you loved it, let me know in the comments. Leave a like, activate the bell, join the members section for learning to play guitar properly. And with that, I'll catch you in the next hangout.